Hello, lovely people. I know I made quite a lot of videos about this amplifier, but it's going to be another one. But this one, I think is going to be very interesting because I was measuring both of them and I found something interesting that I would like to share and maybe get some input about. So these two amplifiers, they're identical. This is the X Series A90M monoblock that does 900 watts into 2 ohms. Now, this one, I got it with a box quite a few years ago in like mint condition. It's from factory. Everything is like perfect. Now, a few months ago, I found this one on eBay. It was being sold as spares and repairs as not working. And it was an auction, so I thought maybe I'm just gonna take it for parts in case this one gonna breaks down. So I bought it very, very cheaply. When it arrived, I opened it up and it had no output FETs at all. Now, these amplifiers, they're using a little bit different FETs than typical amplifiers. They're very, very tiny, little square thingies, and it's a bit difficult to find them. So I sent it to Sam to fix it and just to have a look what he can do with it. He took it apart and he said that only the FETs are missing and he can get them and he can put them in and potentially fix it relatively cheap. So that's what happened. He got the FETs, he fitted it, he sent it back, and then I decided, like, I have two of them. I have one from factory and one that's being fixed with different FETs. Even if those FETs have the same model numbers, probably they're not made in the same factory, or I have no idea. So I decided to measure them because this is the cleanest monoblock that I've ever had. I did compare it with a Taram Smart 3, and in general, I just love it for the form factor as it is. So this is going to be a very quick video. We're going to jump into the laptop and I'm going to show you the differences between a factory amplifier and fixed one with some parts. And you can see the pot, one pot was replaced as well. So let's jump and see. And this is what I found interesting. So I measured these amplifiers at 100 watts output at 50 hertz. And this one is the original one that has very, very low harmonics and literally no noise. Now the fixed one, after the fixing, it became something like this. So the noise slightly increased and most importantly the harmonics increased as well, and to be honest quite a lot. So where on the original we had THD plus noise 0.05 and signal to noise 88, with the fixed one after the fixing, the signal to noise dropped a little bit, but the harmonics instead of 0.05 we have 0.2. So that's quite a lot. If we would have a look at THD plus noise for both of these amplifiers, we can see there is a huge difference. So the original one, it is much cleaner, whereas the fixed one, for some reason, after like half a watt or something, THD kind of climbs up and then it is a steady pace. And surprisingly as well, at the same voltage, I have much more output out of the fixed one. So we have close to more than probably 100 watts, 688, 888. So 200 watts more output after replacing the FETs, which is surprising. So this difference is way too big to be explained just by like manufacturing differences. This has to do something with the actual replaced FETs. But why? I have no idea. If we have a look at the noise is the same, the floor noise here is the same, and the difference is in the THD itself. So the THD difference is massive, and why it is, I have absolutely no idea. If we have a look at THD versus frequency, we have kind of the same thing. So the original one has much lower THD versus frequency, whereas the fixed one has higher THD. The profile is kind of the same, where you have more distortion at the higher frequencies above like 200 hertz or so, but the difference is still there. And again, noise, this is just measuring. It was something to do with the measurement, so it's not the amplifier, it's fine. Noise is fine. Floor noise is very low. Everything is fine, but for some reason, these amplifiers measure very different. If we have a look at the frequency response, it's identical. So yeah, the subsonic, you can set it at 10 hertz. So it plays down to 10 hertz flat, all the way up to 300 and then rolls off because the crossover, I think, is set at 400 hertz or so. So frequency response is identical. Everything is identical. Voltage is identical. However, they do measure very, very different. So this is my findings. I cannot explain it. I have no idea. What I would like to do, I would like to do something similar with a Class AB Alpine V12s, where I can measure the original how it measures, then replace the FETs transistors and see if the measurements change. But with this one, I have absolutely no idea. So if you have any thoughts, please pop them in the comments below. And that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.